What do you want?
Well, heading to Surindar's cradle? I hope you brought your own water skin. Or you could buy one off me. My rates are reasonable, given the drought. Water, or rather the lack of it. Something stopped the flow from the aqueduct to Surindar's cradle. I've been hauling water for them in the meantime, but they can't keep this up forever. Don't know. Old stones, old gates and levers. Who can say for sure? I overheard the adepts discussing the trouble. A young one, Vosby, seems keen to solve the issue. If you want to know more, she's the person to ask.
What do you mean I look ugly? I'm a fucking cat. I'm not that person. Wanna see my banker?
Have need of a zombie? This one is here to serve.
It's not as weird as my banker being a smaller cat. And that person running on his horse.
We must do something about the water, Silujo. If you would just...
No adept can face the wastes alone, child. This one insists you stay.
Vosby cannot understand. Only puddles remain in the Adeptorium cisterns, but still Silujo forbids this one to act. Our Adeptorium, no, and we never will if Silujo gets his way. He yowls about the risks, but Vosby is not the saucer-eyed kitten she was when Silujo found her. This one must fix this. You're a warrior, yes? Would you escort Vosby to investigate the aqueduct? Thank you for helping, Rook. We should investigate. Ah, I found it. We should examine the gate at the top of the ramp. Open and dry, as expected. Hopefully we'll find the blockage at the second gate. Vosby hopes we can find a portion of the aqueduct that runs through Banda's litter. A canyon to the east of the Adeptorium. Silujo, Vosby does not know. She has a time. Vosby will be right. Not you! Vasby is a quick study, yes? Let's examine this new gate. Try. Zispo. Wait, what is this? Curious. This scrap of cloth. Vasby knows it well. It is part of a Srendal adept's habit. One of the old ones we don't wear anymore. Could an adept have been out here? Vasby does not think anyone wore it. The way it is torn, it looks like someone used it to dress a wound. Do you think? Maybe. Vasby is... We could start by searching around the columns that hold the aqueduct. Certain. After the worst of the Nahatan flu had passed, Silujo and the others burned every scrap of cloth touched by the illness. Quilts, linens, and yes, even their habits. Nothing remained of them, aside from paintings in the cloisters. It appears that way, yes. Another shred of a habit? The blood seems more spotty. From a sword, maybe. Let's keep looking.
I said it's an MMO like that, so I mean, yeah.
This is a nursery rhyme, isn't it? Like the one Vasby read every night as a kitten. Srendar's mercy. Please hurry, Walker.
Well, I mean, it's very grindy. That's just what this map looks like. This is how big it is. Don't worry about the dragon over there. This is the whole map of just this one. If I zoom out further, there's 3 other locations I can explore. This game's a lot bigger and in depth than it just appears to look while I'm doing this one quest.
Swaddlecloth? Vasby recognizes that pattern. Come, let's keep looking, come! And we find a death coin lost, of course. Something that gleams to take to the sands behind the stars. We should talk. The bloody bandages, the cameo, and swaddlecloth. All these trinkets and mementos lead to a forbidden place. Bandar's litter. Vasby has not been totally honest with you, Wak. The drought. It's because of me. That is why Vasby insisted on being the one to investigate. Every year, on this one's birthday, someone leaves a gift outside days after the aqueduct ran dry. The gift giver left a jug of cold, fresh water outside this one's door. It was a message, you see, for Vasby. Now we find these dressings and keepsakes, all leading to Bandar's litter. Our answers are there. Old ghosts haunt this place. Angry spirits that moan and howl curses in the night. Silujo always insisted we stay away. I hate to disobey him, but we have no choice. The last sluice gate and the person we pursue are both inside. Are you prepared?
Yes, let us keep moving. Fuck. I do.
Wait! Vasby saw someone! Why do they run? We do not mean them any harm. There we go. Is that the same one as before?
Can't do this shit in Monster Hunter. Plus, unlike Monster Hunter, this is actually a cohesive story you're supposed to be following the entire time. More of an MMO experience about experiencing a story of a world that's been developed since the DOS era of computers.
Where's Rasby, beloved child? Finally, you have come home at last.
Beloved, what? I don't... We only want to restore the water.
Water? No, no, no. You come for answers, child. Answers from ashes. Take her to our camp at the Bandar Gate. Kill the other in crimson and flame. Scouring fire will claim Sarindar's cradle soon enough.
Alright, well. Guess I'm killing these fuckers. Being 100% immune to disease. My character is 100% immune to disease, is what I said. Because I'm a Khajiit, which has a 50% disease immunity, and then the werewolf gives me another 50%. Add that up, what does that give you?
Quickly! Over here! Silujo saw everything. We must save Vasby. Quickly, please! I may not be Vasby's father, but I feel a father's love for her. What parent would let their child wander the Kaj with a stranger? Silujo followed at a distance, but could not stop Vasby in time. The stricken cats took her deeper into the canyon. The flu. Time heals some wounds and causes others to fester. Sometimes even the greatest healer cannot see all ends. Forgive me. Silujo is an old cat. There is a cavern deep within. These sick, scarred, you see, we call them the stricken. After the Nahatan flu ravaged their bodies, the people of elsewhere cast them out. They came to Srendar's cradle once for healing, but the king's vizier would have put our adeptorium to the torch if he knew we harbored the sick. You should know the reason they hate us. It is my fault. They wish to burn our home because I cast them into Bandar's litter to die. The stricken in the days of the flu, chaos reigned, and many came to Srendar's cradle seeking healing. But fear followed the flu. With so many of the ill huddled in our adeptorium, the people saw it as a breeding ground for more sickness. The Sutabi, the king's vizier, marched on the adeptorium and threatened us with torch and sword. If the sick remained in the cradle, he vowed to burn it to ash. So I ushered the sick and dying here to Bandar's litter and left them to die. They had no choice. We had no choice. When you tend to the sick for as long as Silu Jo has, you cannot help but grow detached, callous even. If I kept the sick with us, many healthy Khajiit would die. Khajiit, like Vasbi. Vasbi's parents came to us, carrying her in swaddling clothes. They were both near death, or so I thought. But Vasbi, their child, was healthy as the spring. What could this one do? Her parents had no chance, but she did. I took her in, raised her. Wait, Silu Jo must speak to me.
I just spoke to you, Silujo.
Before we go further, the Bandar Gate lies beyond that door. The Stricken's leader as well, Vasbi's true father. His love and sorrow has turned to hatred for me. Silu Jo has no illusions. Death waits for this one through this passage, for the actions of his past. Silu Jo does not fear this death, if it will save Vasbi. Before it happens, though, this one must ask. You now know the story of Srendar's cradle, of the sick left to die. When this one is gone, Vasbi will have questions. Silu Jo thanks you, Walker. Choosing who lives and who dies weighs on the soul, but as a healer and a leader, I must make hard decisions. If Silu Jo had to do it all over again, he would make the same choice. Now come. Vasbi waits. Vasbi, you are unharmed, yes?
No. My daughter is no longer yours to corrupt, Edik.
Oh, what have I done? Okay, good. Keep putting away. Don't you look over. You don't need to look over. I am gone.
Silu Jo, no! He breathes, but faintly. Vasbi will take him back to the cradle. My hands won't stop shaking. The Stricken's leader holds her. Yes, he said he left me gifts so that I would not forget him. But seeing me grow closer to Silu Jo, closer to the Order, twisted his tail to the breaking. Please, Walker, if there is any way to spare her, this one only needed saving because she disobeyed. This one knows. Kulzatul, how could it not be Vasbi's fault?
Don't need your protection. Don't need your fucking pity talk, Vasbi. I'm gonna kill her, bitch. Cool.
You think you can keep me from my vengeance? Come, thee.
Okay. Huh? Okay.
You return. Good. Vasby already loses too much today. Siljo did not... Vasby could not... He is gone. His soul wanders the sands behind the stars now. The other adepts mourn for him as Vasby does. But they do not know the truth of his death, or the cost of the water you restored. But you know. Vasby knows. And it may be too much for her to bear. Vasby loved this place. She idolized Siljo and the other healers. She prayed to Srendar for the strength and wisdom to serve as well as those who came before. But Srendar's cradle is a lie. My dream is a lie. What is Vasby to do now? The people of elsewhere think that the adepts of the cradle worked miracles to stave off the flu. Now I see that they only hid the sick in the wilderness to let them die. How can this one just ignore that? How can I dedicate my life to such a place?
Which option should I choose, Courtney? Of the two I have in front of me, which one should I choose? Alright.
Yes, this one will stay. But I will not lie about what happened here. Siljo made an impossible
But
choice.
I hit that option.
The people deserve to hear the truth. Thank you, Waka. We only just met, but you are the closest thing to family that Vasby has left. Brothers, sisters, Vasby must speak about Siljo's passing. Before he passed, this one learned the truth of the stricken, of the role we healers played in their suffering. No longer. In Srendar's name, we must go to Bandar's litter. We must help the stricken, and we must try to heal this age-old wound, for their sake and for ours.
Surprised it took you that long to notice. Why not? You good? Yeah, I probably can. I'm not going to do it now because I want to fight this dragon, but I'll do it afterwards. That's the bitch. Because I judge myself every day. It's pretty obvious. Stop asking stupid questions. That's a lie. I'm not just gonna lie to random people like that. Oh shit, got it back up. Kill a dragon with all of these people. gonna go with my house. My main base of operations. Whoa. Why is it? Oh my god. Ow. Yes. Cheetos. Good for you. You live a healthier life than me. You feel like shit after a mini bag. I'm eating a fucking family size bag right now and I feel great. Let's enjoy my house tour, damn it. That's not the point. Look at my house. It's very nice but empty because I don't use much. Got a bunch of beds. Some flags and shit hanging around. I'll get to that part later. Got a nice little fire pit here. But what up? I don't know. I changed it a while ago. Anyway, so yeah, here's a little storage coffer, some candles, a giant wall dedicated to all the things I've done. Here's a bunch of statues of some Daedric gods and a Khajiit. Yeah, I know what you meant. I'm just showing my fucking house right now. I'll get to that later. Yeah, I got some human hearts because of all the people I've killed. Got a little letter here. Got a giant soul gem. A cool lantern. A throne. I got some stones. An egg. I am, because this is basically everything I've done. There's more in the down low. It's just, this is like a basics, all the small things I've done. Got my banker down here next to my cat. Got a coffer that shoots confetti. A fan that turns me into a monkey. That skull talks, but I placed it so you can't really activate it. That was accidental. Then I've also got a little compass here. Lunar compass. It's a very nice room, very small, very barren, but that's kind of the point. These are tablets for a different house I also have. Now for the end of the tour, well, almost end. This is my downstairs, which has a bunch of rubble in the back that I stole from another house. And all of this. Got Namira, the Mistress of Decay. The shield signifying every alliance, which you have to get the hero of that alliance, i.e. doing every quest in that, on all the provinces of that alliance. Which, here's all the Daggerfall Covenant alliances I've done every quest in. All of the Aldmeri Dominion provinces I've done every quest in. I do every quest here in Cyrodiil, I just don't think I got anything for it. And all the Ebonheart Pact. Minus DLC like that, and that. I also have some good boys here. This one's in dragon armor. This one's just painted red. Got a little pony. And a cute boy. Just ignore the giant hellish Satan right there. Over here I got a banner to Clavicus Vial, a Nightmare Senchera. I think that's right. And this is a Dromathra horse. Got a Bannekin and a Scamp. And this is Lady Nocturnal. What was what, this thing or that thing? I just said what everything was. That's a Senche Panther. He's on fire. Nightmarish, it's cool. Clavicus Vial. Daedric Prince of Bargains. He's got a huge old banner right there. A Dromathra horse. Got a little Bannekin here. He's horrifying. A little Scamp here. He's also horrifying. Bunch of lamps and braziers. That's my alliance right there. That one. These are all the good boys, except for the pony. He's just kind of there because I need something to fill space. And that's just the thing. This I just kind of covered up all the water. I don't know why I did this, but it looks nice. And that's basically my entire house right now, because I'm too lazy to decorate all these halls and shit with more stuff, because I don't want to get tables and all that. If you ever got this game, Courtney, I'd actually allow you entrance to this place so you can edit and do all that stuff, add your own touch to the halls. Or literally just... yeah. And then, this is just one of my houses. I also have Black Vine Via, Golden Griffin Grey. What line? Oh yeah, right, sorry. I just want something stupid at the bottom of my stream. It's kind of funny but stupid. Too lazy to edit it, so I just put insert thing as like a little joke. It's like whatever the fuck I'm doing. Then it's just a bit of self-deprecation humor. I mean, as true as it may be, it's still meant to be humorous over truthful. We have Mars Kiss Public House as well. Ignore the name. I don't know why I did that. We have the St. Dellen Penthouse, the Sugar Bowl Suite, Ebony Flask Inn, and the Rosy Lion. Most of those were free, except for that. That was not free. In the classic homes, I have the Gordonier Estate, which used to be my main base of operations, which is why it's called the Lord Wintrich's Estate, as it's named there. Then notable homes, I have the Grand Sinchikvia, or Arteum Manor. Actually, hold on, I'm just gonna... can I make that my actual primary residence? How do I do that shit? Settings, primary residence, yes. And there we go. So, yep. Then also the Hall of Lunar Champions, which is in Elsewhere, which is where I just was doing that quest and killed the dragon. You get that for completing the quest, and you also have to like unlock more spaces and rooms over time by doing the DLC. It's a cool place. I just don't use it much on this account because I have the Arteum Manor, which is bigger, and I have to work less to fit all the shit I bring into it. I do use this as my main base of operations on the PC version, though. I'm a rich bitch, despite the fact I just said a majority of my homes were free. I'm taking a nice little swim here, over to this rock, out in the middle of the water. It's somehow still part of my home, so other fish aren't killing me yet. And you just sit on this little bench here, and look, gaze out at the beautiful sight that is Arteum. And also just a nice little side profile of my house back there. And no, I cannot go into first person while sitting, or else I would change that. But what I can do is change my costume. I have multiples of those. Let's see, I got the Elven Hero armor. Oh, I have hats on still. God damn it. Why do I keep doing this? Hide it. There we go. Holiday in Balmora is what I was wearing. The Queen Spymaster robes. This is usually what I wear on this character. The Shroud armor. This is for being a stealthy assassin boy. The Cadaverous Assassin is actually a polymorph. It makes me a skeleton in Dark Brotherhood armor. That's anatomically correct. I have a tail and my face is Khajiit. Then also the Trethane Mosaic Jerkin. I should probably take off the polymorph so you can actually see it. There we go. Then also this I got recently, but because I love Sheogorath, I just have it equipped. It's a little turban. It's stupid, but I like it. That's this character. I have more. I feel like I've shown you a lot of this already, but I'm doing it again because I want to. And it actually interests me. Well, I'm not really bragging because I'm definitely not even near the greatest in this game. By any means. I'm awful at the PvP. I can barely get any kills. I don't do dungeons and trials like every other PvE player does, because well, it's just me in this game, and I don't like using LFGs because I don't like the results that can happen or whatever. You're expected to play more if you use an LFG for some reason, and I just like showing off what I've got because I find it cool and interesting, and I'd like to actually do stuff with this, which is why this is by far my main account, the most worked on. I've had it for the longest, and I've also grown most accustomed to it, and all the stuff I have. When I go on the PC, I forget what I do and do not have, so it gets confusing for me. So I'm gonna go show off my other characters now. It's like, I guess what you'd call brag, but I'm just showing off what I have. If I wanted to brag, I'd have every fucking notable home. That's what a lot of higher tier players do. They have more homes, more things to show off than I do. Because I'm not even halfway to like the max level in this game yet. I believe it goes up to like 820 or something. This is my other character, Estonia Laretharin. That first one was Alselexia Laretharin. This is just like the outfit. I should have shown that on the fucking Alselexia, her basic armor outfits. Whatever. I'm gonna go outside because the lighting's better. There we go. So this is Stanya. That's what she looks like in her basic attire. It's very normal. It's kind of what I have when I'm doing other stuff. I have that one, but I also have this outfit, which is weirder, but supposed to be more like fighting and aggressive, while still being stealthy, and like this one, which is just kind of flamboyant and protective still, but yeah. I think costumes are different, yeah. Thought they'd be among the same, but they are different. This is her in the Dark Seducer armor that I dyed with ESO Plus so I could get the colors. I just think it looks better that way. The For Silk fabric, it's kind of more of a summer thing. Also the Elven Hero armor. And this as well. That's not even by far all the shit I've used for these characters. So I've got all of this that I don't want to show off because I just kind of use what fits for each character. not much to Estonia. Just kind of here. Play on them when I want to do a ranged character because they were mostly range. And besides those two characters, no one else has hit level 50 yet. I have a very big level gap in between my characters that aren't level 50 because it takes a long time to grind to 50. Like on the PC, I'd done every single main quest and some side quests with base game all the way to the current chapter DLC, and I was only level 48, 47 by the time I finished all of it. Then everyone else I could basically just show off on their character screen here because there isn't much else to them besides what you see. Rostrada, little commander guy. It's gonna have him here. Yerdil, Loretharin. He's also a ranged person. I just don't play on him much. I'm lazy. It's probably the third most played on character I have, despite her level. And also this guy, which I basically play on if I want to challenge myself, because I wanted to not use any weapons with him. I just wanted abilities and or my fists. So he doesn't use a single weapon, which is very fucking stupid. I don't suggest doing it on your own if you're to do this. And also I gave him a skin that I'd gotten from some crown crates I had, which basically makes him look undead and afflicted, because he's supposed to be like the thrall of this one who's a necromancer. So it's supposed to be like undead, which is why he only uses fists, because no zombie is using a weapon. Also, I have a character for each class in the game, like a Dragon Knight, a Templar, Warden, Sorcerer, Necromancer, and Nightblade. I can make more characters, but I probably won't. None of these guys are even level 50 yet, so why would I waste time on more characters? That's a mute point, but whatever. If they add another class, I'll probably create a new character, but as far as right now, they're just all same, different classes rather. Also 2 per alliance, because I'm able to. Not got much else to say on this. It's kind of torn my account, really. If I was actually dedicated to this game any more than I currently am, I'd probably be max level, because I played on and off a lot since it launched in like 2014, 2013. So I've not been playing too much, but at the same time, can't really fault me because I've been doing other shit. Life in general. I have had it since launch, and I think Alcalexia is the only character that has been here since that time. Which is why I have such a high champion rank. She's basically the one I earned all of it on. Except maybe a level or 2 from Estonia. I think she's been here since the beginning. Either the beginning or like really early on in the game, because I know Alce here was before any of the major updates like 1 Tamriel or fucking Morrowind. So it's at least been around that long, and that was like what, 2016, 15, somewhere in there. It's all fun. And I actually suggest you play this game if you want something you can kind of do in your own time, or if you are a dedicated MMO player that just wants this. It's a lot of fun. If you love the Elder Scrolls universe, also get it. It's got a lot of cool things that go on. I'm basically just talking to myself because you're clearly not paying attention. I'm really doing is pouring out my guts on why I like this game and the Elder Scrolls franchise as a whole, because this takes place at an interesting point in time in Elder Scrolls history where before now we didn't really know much, and what we did know was basically just the Three Flags War, which is the whole base game basically, and a Daedric invasion of the entire world. Just why Cold Harbor was an option when I was in the map screen there, fully zoomed out. Then after that there's basically the farming of Vivek City, why the meteor is so close to it in the first place. Then Somerset is basically another Daedric invasion, except it's not successful because they don't even get to the realm of Nirn, really. And then Elsewhere, which is actually a chapter, which I was surprised because it's not as big as the other two, or as as huge a story at the base of it, but still really good. Still, like, it gives a lot of lore and insight to the Khajiit, and it's actually the first game where there's more than one type of Khajiit that you can interact with. And you're gone. Now I really am just talking to myself. Can't really say much else about the game, because whatever I say, I'd rather you play for yourself and make your own opinions, because I'm obviously biased. I like the Elder Scrolls series, and I've played this game since launch, so obviously I have more time invested. I'm going to be... I've played it basically by myself that entire time, maybe one or two people helping me, that's about it, for very short amounts of time, like not even a week. This game first launched, I played with Wolf. He was only here for a few months before he stopped playing, and that was when there was all this fiasco with like the American server queues and how awful and long they were. So everyone was on the European server, which is why he doesn't want to come back. Actually, he doesn't want to lose the progress he made on the European servers to come to the American ones, which, as dumb as it is, I understand that, because he's not really an MMO player, so he doesn't have that feeling of losing everything and having to start ground up again. Which, as you can tell, I've clearly done time and time and time and time and time and time again. And then there was one other guy I met while trying to complete the Tamriel Hero achievement. While I was in the PvP zone, he was on the opposite guild of me, so he had to kill me, but he just kind of let me go and chill out in the town to do quests. He knew I wasn't there to fuck with it or anything. He was a cool guy. He had me as a friend. We kind of did a few things. We let each other be on our way. But we also just never talked after that. Once I'd logged out of the game, I never saw him again. I don't even know if he's on my friends list anymore. I probably removed him, because I just don't talk to the fucker. But yeah, and honestly, well, I feel like D-Wolf probably does in some way want to come back to the game. He just knows that he'd have to pay a lot of money to be up to date, because that's usually how MMOs work. And he'd also have to switch servers, which means he'd be starting from square one all over again, because nothing you keep will transfer between servers. Like, if I were to go to a European server, I would have nothing this account has. I just have whatever I had before I switched back over, before one Tamriel even kind of came out. So I'd probably have like a level 10 on there. That's it. There's also something else I should probably mention is my 2 highest levels, the people actually at level 50 are classes I have familiarity with. They're the most familiar I am with, unlike everything else which I'm not too familiar with, so I just don't play it that much. Except for Sorcerer, which is actually the main class of my main character on the PC version, where there is a 44 level difference between the first and second highest person. That's higher than literally any distance here. This at least has a 17 and a 10. That's only what, 33 level difference. I do not play PUBG. I don't really like battle royales, so I just don't do them much. Not my cup of tea. That's probably why I don't do PvP. Okay. That's probably why I don't do PvP in this game too much, because PvP is basically one giant teams match in a battle royale. You and your entire alliance versus the other two trying to conquer keeps and resource areas and towns to get the most points. Upon the implementation of the Imperial City DLC, it added a PvE zone, much like Gambit would be in Destiny, except instead of having to invade to kill people, if they're not on your side, you can kill them the minute you see them. And it's such a thing that you can become the emperor of the entirety of the empire if you're the best PvPer on the server at said time. If you get killed, someone else takes your position, and I think that's cool, though it kind of sucks that they locked a costume behind being emperor. I can understand why they would, but it just kind of sucks for a lot of the 100% completionists that want to 100% the game. It requires they actually get good at the PvP, which is a downfall for me. It's what discourages me from doing a lot of stuff, because there's so many achievements behind PvP. And it sucks because I main the Aldmeri Dominion, as you can fucking tell there with levels. And so every time I'm on PvP with these characters, the Aldmeri Dominion has probably the least amount of PvPers from what I've seen, and so our team just gets fucking annihilated every time. Because it requires the people that do play PvP get on. You can choose between 3 different servers, I believe, on the thing I have, or on the campaign I'm part of for PvP, but I think the one I'm on has the least amount of Dominion players. I mean, the bar is all the way full on every single one. Like, that saying it's the least amount is still a fuck ton of people, but those fuck ton of people also are either just kind of starting the PvP for whatever I can, but that would completely reset my alliance rank, which I've been grinding for heavily since I've started this game, because I'm not good at PvP, so when I do play it, I want to try to go for it. There was one time when I was playing PvP, which is probably the most points the Dominion has ever had in my time online for PvP, is I was just like a part of a group of 80, and we were literally able to push one of the alliances all the way back to their gates, which is basically their spawn point. We just conquered that entire map, and we pushed them all the way back, so far that we cannot push forward, or else we would literally be in the starting area when you first start the PvP and you first get into it, which has no climbable walls for an outside alliance person to get into. But we pushed them all the way back to what would basically be their spawn in a normal PvP match. That was probably the best we'd ever done. I was still friends with the dude Jammerox, who just kind of stopped talking to me for whatever reason. It's actually when I made this character. It was like the first PvP thing I'd done with him, and we pushed him all the way back there. I think that had like 100k points. I have, but unfortunately in that process, a lot of them just don't talk to me because they find other groups to play with. A lot of them stop playing the game because they lose interest. A lot of friends I had that come into here kind of stopped playing it like Wolf, or they just aren't friends with me anymore, or don't talk to me all that much like Jammerox. It doesn't affect me in any way, because I'm mostly a solo player. I prefer to play by myself anyways. It's just sucks I can't really do anything group activity. The closest I gotten was that team of like 80 people pushing a fucking gate, which was fucking awesome to do. I hope I still have the video somewhere. I probably don't, because I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah, it was fun. We literally pushed so far up, and the other team was actually surprisingly a good sport about it, because we just kind of sat at their wall because we couldn't climb it, and we just emoted. We all had fun because they kind of realized they're fucked. It was near the end of the campaign, so no one really cared, so we all just kind of had fun. It's probably the most fun in PvP I had. Everything else is just stress, because having to do that Tamriel hero achievement just made it kind of stressful to wander around Cyrodiil in general. For me it is usually, because especially if you're deep into enemy territory or on a losing team, the minute you exit your gate you're basically a target, because they can push up that far now. And so it kind of sucks having to watch your back constantly when you're in deep enemy territory to try to do quests or get alliance points by doing the odd job every now and then, like a scout report. Doesn't require you to kill or do anything. You just go up to a enemy location or allied location sometimes even, hit a button when you're close enough, and you go back to your base camp. The easiest way to get alliance points if you have quick mounts or quick characters, which in ESO it's basically based on height. So even though Khajiit are supposed to be incredibly fast, most Elder Scrolls games, if you're actually at max height, High Elf, because that's the tallest you could get as a character, you're actually the quickest speed. Yeah. Aside from PvP in this game, I highly suggest it just for the PvE experience. Honestly, I actually think you might like the PvP in this game, because it is more group based, and if you're in a 1v1 it's mostly live as long as you can until someone comes up, or you catch them off guard and you can kill them because they forgot to heal at some point. PvP is more about endurance than it is skill. Like if you just sit there and heal yourself for as long as you want until someone else comes up, then the other player is either just going to give up and go away, or the other person comes up and they just help you kill them. And honestly, I think the most fun you'll have in this game is finding that time where your entire team's online and you all siege castles together, because that's just incredibly fun to even watch. Just a huge mass of people setting up siege weapons and whatever, getting on top of the walls, climbing them, just absolutely going in on a town or a castle. Okay. Oh, no, just don't answer them. Don't contact them. That just adds fuel to the fire. Here's what Cyrodiil looks like when I've actually done every quest. This is the PvP area, by the way. This is the PvP overmap without all the castles, keeps, and alliances. This is where the Covenant starts, the Ebonheart Pact, and the Dominions down here. So, like, basically when I say I pushed them to their spawn, I think it was the Ebonheart Pact we pushed, so we basically went from here all the way up to the right, plus some of the stuff on this side. We just didn't push the Covenant because no one was really on. It wasn't that fun to push people that weren't there. So we pushed the team that was on, which was the Pact, and basically pushed them all the way to their spawn. I think that's one of the few times I've seen the Aldmeri Dominion win a campaign whenever I've been in a PvP campaign. One of the first times is we just pushed all the way up there as like nearing the end of the campaign. We just basically regained every point. Like the last few weeks of the campaign, we just regained everything. Stored it all in like the most secure locations down here. They couldn't do anything because we had all this area protected because there was only like half of us over here. And we just pushed them all the way back to their gates way back here. I think it was this one, the snow one. And yeah, that's the Imperial City. That's where there's like different banners in each district here. And if you have them all, it unlocks the center here for your team, your alliance. And with that, you can just go into the tower, and I believe that's how you become champion. You can like ascend it to the Ruby Throne, or something like that. Because there's that dungeon, and I think there's a second one that you unlock when you unlock this for your team. You actually unlock the dungeon for this, you make a team to go up and you become an emperor. Whoever kills you while you're emperor, when you're outside or in the city or something like that, becomes the emperor as well. It's a lot more interesting if I probably go in and show it, so... Let's go with the basic boy. My enter Cyrodiil campaign. Yep. This is usually the one I choose. I believe it's just the standard one. Champion points are enabled. Level 15 above. Which basically means all the stupid shit I have my champion points, like War Mount, where I just don't lose stamina for running on my mount. Ever. It works here. This is what the map looks like when you're actually in a campaign. Looks like we're having a few battles on the outskirts here. A few gates are destroyed. The minion isn't doing too bad, but I think this is halfway through, so there's probably not going to be too many fights going on. This is clearly a... or not clearly, but it's probably a... oh, it's everyone, alright. That makes sense, it's deep in the territory. That's what it all looks like. I don't know what the fuck happened to our Elder Scrolls, but I guess they took it. This is the starting area. It's just a nice little place for you to spend your champion points and whatever. Look at all the views Cyrodiil can offer without getting into a fucking shit show of a fight. Let's go ahead and zoom my ass on over to the other gate, because there's a lot more to do there. Got a tavern with some furnishers. Stable master, your banker, your armors. That's where you buy your siege weapons, where you craft everything. Very basic. I believe that the other gate is where all the jobs and stuff are. That's where you get your scout quest for easy alliance points. And honestly, if you actually coordinate with the friend that's on an opposite alliance, you could probably meet up somewhere and just farm alliance points, as long as it's close to somewhere you can both travel. Yep, here it is. This is the person who will tell me to go and collect keeps. Same with here. Actually no, I believe he's Elder Scrolls. This is the keeps. This is just scouting. And this is bounty, which is kill other players. And I'm going to ignore that shade of Goris there because I think that's something new. And then these are also just duels and whatnot.
With a wheel of cheese. Well, look who got their soul back from Moloch Ball. And is that Meridia I smell? You've been a busy little vestige. Now don't worry about these level-headed losers. No one can see me but you. You possess a special untapped talent for unhinged insanity. What does Shea Gorath always want? I am the Mad Star! The Mad
This is my favorite character in the entire of Elder Scrolls, by the way.
Here nor anywhere. All that matters at the moment is infusing some entertainment into this dreadfully dull bloodshed. Not with that attitude, is it? I can teach you a trick that will swing the war in your alliance's favor while bringing a smile to the ever-changing face of your favorite Daedric prince. I'm talking about me, just in case that wasn't clear. I don't mind you mortals constantly murdering each other, but when it kill you to crack more skulls, oh, that, my mortal friend, is a dangerous and delicious inquiry. I want to give you the power of Volendrum. Now don't be fooled by the funny name. Malakath's giant hammer is no laughing matter. Unless you're like me and you enjoy watching skulls explode. Of course not. I simply borrowed it for an indeterminate amount of time. And now you can borrow it from me to shower the battlefield with the brains of your enemies. I don't recommend literally showering in anyone's brains, by the way. Too slippery. Back in Cheesemonger's Hollow with the rest of me madness. Would you like to visit? I can open a portal and take us there right now. I don't know how often you travel by portal, but it really is quite nice. Follow me to all of the cheese-laden madness a mortal mind can handle.
Right without equal, Shea Gorath holds in his realm giggling loons, flamboyant auteurs, and craven mutilators. Mad Prince will play profitless bargains and promote senseless bloodshed.
There's Volendrum. Wow. Take it. Touch it. Love it. Feel that? That's the power of a true Daedric artifact, my friend. By the way, I forgot to mention that if you don't feel Volendrum's soul, then that murderous spirit! Now, go hit the other Zifkin! Are you ready? This is the best part, the killing part! Go. Well done! Now you're ready to kill all sorts of idiots! I already went ahead and summoned some for you. Charge! Healer! Good! Now put everything you have into it. Don't stop until you're dripping with blood and... I refuse to believe that Malakath will be be having more fun with this hammer than we are. Set it ablaze! Bring that hammer back before it gets hungry. Was as brain-bashingly entertaining as I'd hoped. I've always said that everything is better with exploding heads. You have to use this hammer in a Three Banners War. I might finally be able to watch an entire battle without falling asleep. Souls are overrated. Just ask Cadwell. He doesn't have a soul and he's happy as a decapitated clam. We both know you want the power. Sometimes getting what you want means giving up a little bit of your eternal soul. And you can't leave Malakat's enchanted murder hammer lying around for just anyone to pick up. You can always bring it back here to play with. Uncle Sheol's house, Uncle Sheol's rules. But if you pick up a greater artifact in Cyrodiil, you're committed. Confusion and guilt are my bread and butter. Madness is my cheese. Moral fortitude is my moulin chèvre salad. If I wasn't immortal, what are you still doing here? You're confused, aren't you? I appreciate your boundless curiosity and understated thirst for power. A dependably entertaining and mentally malleable combination. I'll be borrowing many more items from my endlessly serious siblings. Never again. If anyone's going to be turning mortals into cheese and sweet rolls, it'll be me. No one else is suited to wield such absurdly sweet power. Except for maybe the Daedric Demi-Prince of Pastries, but no one's seen her for a long time.